And you can see High Street Dreams on Monday on BBC One at 9. Now, like us, our first guest is used to early mornings, as he's got the record for being the longest-serving Radio 1 breakfast DJ. And in his new show, he heads out to meet his early morning predecessors.
If you go all the way through to June 1983, you'll see Mr. Mike Reed, breakfast show DJ extraordinaire, Saturday Superstore presenter, Cliff Richard lookalike, and by the look of it, professional tennis impersonator. He hit Radio 1 on the breakfast show at a really good time when DJ really was king. Hello! Look what I found!
I know you need a big truck, but I didn't think you were that heavy. How are you, mate?
I'm good, how are you?
Good to see you. Good to see you. No, that is superb. I get a sort of thrill running through me when I see that. And I want to hear, boom, today, live from Scalby Mills Lawn, Scarborough.
Well, this is big. I remember going to see it as a kid. It was really impressive.
It was just great fun, driving from town to town, guitar and tennis racket in the bag, in your shorts, and showing off to the girls and getting paid for it. Doesn't sound too bad to me, though.
No, what a great life.
It's Chris Moyles. Welcome to the show.
Hooray! Hello, everybody.
Happy today?
Oh, I was just showing Louise a picture of the boys celebrating Leeds United, the football
For anyone who doesn't
team.
know, Leeds United went up yesterday from League One to the Championship. Chris was there and hung out with the players afterwards. Was it good fun?
It was amazing. Well, no, it wasn't. It was horrible. The game was horrible, and then we scored.
You went 1-0 down and then...
Yeah, and then we equalised, and then we scored with about 35 minutes to go, which was the longest 35 minutes ever. And we just sat there, and then some idiots ran on the pitch when there was like 30 seconds to go, and everyone's going, "Get off, get off, get off!" And we're thinking, the ref gave us nothing. I'm thinking, oh, he's going to give us 10 minutes extra time, whatever. But no, all good. And then we were up.
Leeds are a big club, and I reckon you'll come. I predict you'll go up.
You said that earlier, yeah. Well, I hope you're right. I don't think you are, but I hope you are. If Ken spends some money, I don't know if they get this in Monaco, but if Ken's watching. Please.
All right, let's talk about Radio 1, the documentary.
Yeah.
Why did you do a documentary on Radio 1?
For the money.
OK.
No, because when I did a lot of interviews when we broke the record for being the longest breakfast show on Radio 1. I did a load of interviews and stuff, and I got chatting with a guy that I do all the TV stuff with, and we were saying it's been on. The breakfast show on Radio 1's been on for like over 40 years, so it doesn't matter how old you are. At some point in your life, you've woken up and listened to the breakfast show, and it's changed so much over the years. So the original idea for the documentary was, wouldn't it be fascinating to go and speak to all these DJs who, if you go back through great moments in British history of varying degrees, there's been some DJ on the air having to tell Britain about it. So be it some DJ going, oh, there's this record called Band-Aid, it's for charity, here it is, you know, and then it becomes the big start of the charity. Somebody must have been on the air when John Lennon died, somebody must have been... And I thought, what a fascinating documentary to do. So that was the original pitch, and then we found out that all these DJs were either on holiday or sick when all these historical things happened. So then we just turned it into a documentary about the breakfast show and the DJs. But it was fascinating to go, who was on the air when Kurt Cobain died? Oh, it was, no, somebody was on holiday. Who was on the air when so-and-so died? No, it was a weekend.
It's that breakfast slot, though, that's always one of the biggest slots on radio, isn't it?
It's the biggest...
the renowned, it's the job to have in radio.
I know. Yes, it is, Louise, you're right.
I know that. Do you not feel the pressure and, you know, do you not ever think you're going to run out of something to say? Because I listen to you and No, I'm not just bigging you up, I do. And
I really am
you
that
do find
good.
something different to talk about all the time. And we were saying this earlier, that now radio has turned into, you do just talk about what's going on, just general, everyday things that everyone can understand.
I've always said, you don't run out of stuff to say in real life. You don't kind of go down the pub with your mate and kind of get to about 9 o'clock and go, I'm done, I've got nothing. That's it. I'm talk for the day.
Just talk.
So, you know, and there's always stuff, you know, we work really hard on the show. We really put a lot of effort in to try and make it kind of funny and interesting. And it pays off, though, because people are stuck in traffic jams and whatever. Mornings are really quite boring and monotonous for a lot of people. So if you can make them laugh in the morning, you become their best mate. So we just try and do that all the time. And we genuinely love it. I mean, it's the best job in the world. Apart from, obviously, doing something for the weekend.
Do you know what was interesting, as you said there earlier, about how you're reflecting popular culture at the time. And, you know, obviously, it's election time now. You're not allowed to probably talk about that, are you, being on the BBC?
We weren't. That was a weird thing. We weren't. It was like the election just didn't exist on our show. It was quite bizarre.
But you're always allowed to talk about X Factor or anything that's going on. This is. We've got a clip here of you talking to Mike Smith.
All right.
About World Cup, which was Sorry, Simon Mayo about
Simon
Mayo about World Cup. So.
What do you remember being an exciting time of your period?
There are certain big moments like, so I started in '88, there's the World Cup comes in 1990. England got better as they went through the tournament, Gaza, the tears, all that kind of thing. And England had a great World Cup record. It got to the point where everybody was talking about football. And in 1990, that wasn't the case. In fact, talking about sport on The Breakfast Show was not really what you were supposed to do because it was seen as divisive. But I wanted to do sports news, so we did a little bit of that. And then the World Cup became such a big deal, and the New Order record was such a big hit that it really became like a national obsession, just for a couple of weeks. But that was the time when everyone was tuning in. So you do think, actually, we are at the heart of something here.
So I think that must be the greatest thing about being a Radio 1 DJ, the breakfast one, is you are there with everything happening. We've got the World Cup coming up. We've had, I know, something like Pineapple Studio, which was massive. You can immediately get Louis Spence on all the guys, and so you can get to reflect what's going on.
Yeah, and because you're on in the morning, you're the first on as well, so you get to do, like, if there's an obvious gag about something, you get to do it first. Because we did 5.5 years of the afternoons, and it's a real pain because, like, you write a joke about something, they go, oh, Coxie did that this morning, or someone else has done that, oh, that's been on telly, or you go, all right, fine. So you get to do it first, which is nice. And yeah, you're telling everyone what's going on. It's like, we came up with this really awful phrase once when we're taking ourselves way too seriously, where we said, we set the tone of the nation for the day, which is, like, very patronising. But yeah, it's good.
It's such a powerful job still, isn't it, really? Because, you know, if you want to get your TV show away, you go on your show, everyone's going to know about it. If you're in a band and you want to be successful, get on your playlist. The power must...
You can make or break a record or a programme,
We've got 7 million listeners, so if 1% of our audience goes to buy something, that's 70,000 units sold. So, you know, once we kind of realised that, we suddenly realised that people should come on the show more and, you know, stuff. And we're really good with our guests. But we get some good people, but then...
Because that's changed. Because at the beginning it was about music, right? Radio 1 was about music 40 years ago, and now it's about...
And now it's about me.
And now it's about, but now it's about telly, you know? You promote all the TV shows.
It's about everything, I mean, it's everything, you know, but our lives are, you know, I mean, it is everything, you know, it's football, it's music, it's telly, it's, you know, it's technology, it's everything. And cooking, even that now. We bore our listeners with stories of me cooking stuff. So... But I love it. It's the best job in the world. And this documentary is really good. It's a bit geeky, but...
Who's your favourite out of all the... Is it the one you grew up with? Who did you grow up with?
Simon Mayo.
Was he your favourite?
Yeah, I thought he was really... Because the thing is, he wasn't really DJ-like. He was just like a bloke.
Because Mike Reid had sort of like a... Without being nasty, he had like a radio voice. Lots of them had radio voices, didn't they?
What is that with the radio voice? It doesn't happen so much.
It's gone now, hasn't it?
But it's still there. It's great. It's still there, but it's like it's one of these things. It's just an unwritten rule. The same with people who do sport. Have to say sport. They can't say sport. They have to say sport. And a lot of sport readers and commentators, they have this lisp all of a sudden, which just appears. And if you look out for it, they do.
If you do cars, you have to speak like that.
Yeah.
That's the style.
Have you ever had a radio voice? Hello, and welcome to hospital, whatever it was.
I did. Yeah, I did Watford Hospital Radio. You started on Hospital Radio.
Well, I did, yeah, in Wakefield at a mental hospital. That's true, I really did.
I thought there was a punchline there. If you wanted to start in radio, though, because a lot of people on TV now cross over to radio, which must frustrate you. When I crossed over from TV to radio, I was hopeless, honestly, and then you have to learn it. But a lot of people cross over and they don't think they're hopeless. It's a completely different skill, radio and TV.
Yeah, I mean, it is. But the thing is, it depends. Like, there are some people who are just naturally funny or can talk or whatever, can deliver. So put them on the radio and it's fine. And there are other people just fall to pieces and just don't know what to do. And then throw in the technical side of it as well, because you've got to press all the buttons and all of that.
It's the art of carrying on, I think, and not letting there be spaces. Like in TV, there's always something visual, but I think on the radio, you are depending on someone to carry on and talk wisely and intelligently for so long.
Not him. No, what is great,
to a degree.
What is great about being a DJ, though, is you're driving it, aren't you? And that is the thing. When you're doing all the buttons and you're moving...
Oh, you're in charge of everything. And that's when I'd done telly, that's the one lesson that I got told years ago, is you, in radio, because you've got the headphones on, you do everything. You do the sound, you do the mics, you do the CDs, you do the jingles, you're in charge of everything. And then when you go and do telly, you sit there and everybody else else is in charge of it, and you've really got to learn how to just trust everyone.
Like-
Because I'm the boss, I'm in charge, I've got producing everything, but technically I can switch anyone's mic off, switch it on, we can go anywhere, and I do all that. So it's quite a... But then I love all the technical side of it as well. I'm a bit of a geek like that.
Do you enjoy the TV?
Yeah, I do. It's long and, you know, frustrating sometimes, but I do like it.
Just do it live, and then they can't make you redo it.
Is this live now?
Yeah, I imagine so. So, Chris, you say you're a good chef or cook. We're going to try you out in a minute, but Chris is staying with us and doing some cooking, and he'll also be taking your emails. So if you've got a question to ask him or our expert, Alistair Sook, drop us a line via our website, bbc.co.uk/something for the weekend.